Hello, my epic gamers. So this week, I decided to revisit Resident Evil Village. I remember when this game came out, it was actually the first Resident Evil game I purchased on day one. I was kind of a new fan to the series. I had just only played Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 7, and I loved both of those games. It's been about 3 years since I played Village, so I decided to hop back into it, play through it again, and check out the new DLC that I have not played yet, so we're going to be checking that out as well. But yeah, this isn't going to be so much a review, just kind of like a, hey, you should go play this game again. That should be the message of this video. You should go play this game again, or play it if you haven't played it, because Resident Evil Village is awesome.
No way!
At the time of recording this, I have around 60 hours into Resident Evil Village. There is a lot more to Village that most players won't see. Village and most Resident Evil games are screaming to be replayed. There are so many fun things to unlock in these games, and they all carry over to like New Game Plus. Some of the most powerful weapons are located in the bonus shop. By completing challenges, you will be rewarded with points that you are able to spend on pretty much whatever you want in the bonus shop. Whether that be a new powerful weapon or a fucking statue. These statues are dumb. Buy the lightsaber. This is honestly where my addiction with this game starts. Going through the game multiple times using these insanely powerful weapons, stomping on every single enemy in the game is so much fun. Now don't get me wrong, you should definitely play this game a couple of times through without these crazy weapons. This most recent time playing through Resident Evil Village, I started a brand new save file. I wanted to re-experience the game as it was, like vanilla kind of. And I gotta tell you something, this game goes fucking hard. From the creepy and chaotic intro, to tiptoeing through the village, getting captured multiple times, and exploring this amazing world. Not to mention, Village still looks absolutely beautiful, like all the time. It's so good, it looks so awesome. Each area you go to feels handcrafted with an insane attention to detail. Animation, art style, graphics, lighting, and character models are top-notch. And this game is optimized extremely well. I had no issues with performance or crashes during my most recent playthroughs. However, something I do want to mention, you may or may not have noticed, I have an increased FOV. I have been using the RE Framework mod. RE Framework allows you to mess with a lot of other stuff. I didn't really mess with too much of the other stuff because, you know, I don't really care about that. I just needed my FOV higher. That being said, I don't think on your first playthrough you should go Minecraft Quake Pro with your FOV, but I think increasing it to 90 is perfectly fine and keeps the game intact. Hell, I was even scared shitless returning to the dollhouse after all these years. That part still freaked me out, and I did have my FOV increased, so fuck you, it's still scary.
Come with me. There's something I have to tell you.
Most of what you'll be doing in Village is shooting everything that moves. Looting each and every room, making sure you have everything you need to kill your next enemy. You have a pretty wide range of weapons to choose from. There are 18 weapons to acquire in Village. Each weapon feels unique and incredibly satisfying to shoot. Like I said earlier, some of these weapons aren't accessible in your first playthrough. Hell, some of them even take you multiple playthroughs to unlock. Or you can just spend $5 and unlock them all. I love the feeling of exploration that these games give you. Now, the map isn't as large as something like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but I'll tell you this, I'll remember each and every inch of Village. So, my most recent playthrough of Village took me around 8 hours to beat, which is what you should expect from this game. It's not that long of a game. Dare I say, it's a perfect length. But that wasn't enough for me. I went through and played the game 2 more times. Once on the hardest difficulty, and then once in third person. Even on my third playthrough, I was ready to hop back in for another run through this wild ride of a game. If you guys don't know, there is a DLC expansion that came out, I don't remember, a few years ago maybe a year after the game came out. It's called the Winter's Expansion. Unfortunately, I really don't have anything great to say about this. Compared to the other Resident Evil DLCs that we've gotten, specifically with 7 and, recently 4, I don't know what happened here. This DLC just felt overpriced and not great. So the Winter's Expansion comes with 3 new additions to the game. New characters for the Mercenaries mode, Third Person mode, and the Shadow of Rose DLC campaign. Alright, we'll start with the Third Person. So the Third Person is locked behind a $20 DLC. That's kinda dumb. I mean, look at games like Evil Within 2. This game added a First Person mode for free. In my opinion, this is not something that should be a paid DLC. This should have just been a free update for the game. And this sucks because I went through the game for a third time in third person, primarily just to record, but I ended up playing through the whole game again because it was really cool playing it in third person. I think playing games with a new perspective has always fascinated me. I will go back and replay entire games just with a different perspective. Max Payne 1, 2, and 3 are great examples, Evil Within, and even Resident Evil 2 and 3 Remake have first-person mods available. If third-person mode is the only reason you want this DLC, wait for a really deep sale. Don't buy this for $20 because it's kind of bullshit that this is even a thing. Now, okay. This DLC is not all bad. There is one good part about this DLC that I think is perfectly fine being paid DLC. It just sucks that this is not a separate thing you can buy. The Mercenaries additional orders is extremely fun, and I have nothing but great things to say about it. You get 3 new playable characters, Chris Redfield, Heisenberg, and even Lady Dimitrescu. And yes, if you're wondering, yes you can. Yes, you can. If you know, you know. Each of these 3 characters are unique and extremely fun to play as. Chris does what Chris does best, and that is punching things, with his brand new weapon being his literal fist, which you can upgrade. But I was mainly excited to take control of the 2 best villains from this game. Lady Dimitrescu and Heisenberg both have a melee-focused playstyle, with a charging or on cooldown ranged attack. I wish that this was separate DLC because I would recommend it right away. If this was like a $5 or even like maybe $8, $7.99, something like that, this would be completely worth it because it's extremely fun. I spent 3 hours playing around with each character and loving every second of it. If there's one thing to take away from my thoughts on the DLC, it's that this is the best part about it by far. And the last thing you get in the DLC is the Shadow of Rose campaign. If you remember the post-credit scene, there's a scene where you get to see Rose as an adult, and this basically is a continuation of that, which I was pretty excited to try it out. I thought, hey, that's pretty cool. I can't wait to try that out. This DLC is okay. I don't hate it, but I'll be real, I felt incredibly underwhelmed with the gameplay and the story. So Shadow of Rose tries to be more scary than the main game, and at times it is. Okay, I'm actually kind of... Okay. Is it like a weeping angel? Oh god! Okay. Oh, there's 2! Fuck this! Fuck this! I want out! Get me out! Get me out! But for me, I've always disliked running away from my enemies in these games. I prefer to face my enemies head on with a fully loaded shotgun. A lot of areas get reused in this DLC, which is fine. I mean, Resident Evil did this in its DLC. But here, it just didn't feel great. I don't know, it just felt kind of weird. Some important things do happen in this DLC that I am sure will be necessary to know for Resident Evil 9. But look, I'm a gameplay guy, and gameplay comes first always. And Shadow of Rose felt extremely boring compared to other Resident Evil DLC. Overall, the Winter's Collection, I don't think it's necessary. If it's on a really good sale, I'm talking under $10, I would hit it up, but it's not a must play in my opinion. I think you should just play through the main game of Resident Evil Village instead. Make sure you just play through that. Play Resident Evil Village, it's amazing. All of my issues with the DLC aside, the base game is fantastic. I have beaten this game a total of 6 times now. Now, must mean they did something right, because I don't do that with all my games. I love Resident Evil Village. It's definitely one of my favorite Resident Evil games. I'm super excited for everything Resident Evil coming out soon. We've been teased possibly getting a Resident Evil 1 remake, or is it Resident Evil 5? I'm not sure. either way, I am super excited for whatever they give me next. I hope those of you who have not played Resident Evil Village, give it a try, pick it up on sale. It goes on sale for pretty cheap sometimes. It's not a long game, and it's not even a hard game, but it is an amazing game, and I hope that you all go and play it. Peace out, gamers.